general, but which the board has given authority for at a level of $1,000 so far. So we have started to apply $1,000, and so we are watching at what you write. And if you earn $1,000 per month or lower, we are mandatory. It's mandatory for us to represent you. Okay. The other test, of course, would be the merit. Is it of merit to go to defend this person? Say, for example, somebody fights with you at the well. You are at the well drawing water. There's a small fight. We don't think there is merit in that case to go defend. You know, we cannot do everything. But if it is a serious matter, for example, murder or rape, big crimes, or crime of a significant nature where it's either complicated. The case is complicated, therefore we will send out lawyers to represent you. Or what you will get as a punishment if you are caught by the law is big, then we have to come on board to represent you. That's the merit test, and that's the income test. So that is how the procedure goes. You state your case, give us the facts, the brief facts, and then you go. Then the lawyers study it, and then we say to you, come back tomorrow or after tomorrow, and the results will be there. You know, and we would have studied it and give you the position in law, where you are standing, and what are the possibilities, the points on liability, and that sort of thing. And that is where we stop with the advice. If necessary, we will go with you into court and represent you. Yeah.
Now, is legal aid given only in Banjo, or do you have other places where you give assistance to the needy people who need your services?
Very well. The services so far have been in Banjul mainly. Mainly in Banjul. In fact, at the beginning, solely in Banjul. Only in Banjul. But starting March this year, we opened an office in Basse. The first center. So we do give our services also now in Basse, and gradually we'll cover the country, because we are about to open the West Coast. After West Coast, we're going to North Bank, and so on. So maybe in a year's time, the whole country would be covered for legal aid.
Okay. Mrs. Ngozi, the defense lawyer, how does legal aid work in the court of law as a defense lawyer?
Thank you very much for yet another program. Yes, for legal aid services in the country, as regards, as far as the courts are concerned, first of all, our mandate is to provide legal aid or services to those who cannot afford a lawyer, especially for those charged with capital offenses or offenses carrying life imprisonment at the moment. So these cases, they usually come through the court orders. When a person is brought to court and is charged with an offense like murder or rape, or these offenses that carry life imprisonment, the court will pose a question to the accused person and ask him or her whether he has a lawyer. Once an indication is made that he does not have a lawyer, he cannot afford the services of a lawyer, the court makes an order to the agency, ordering the agency to represent the accused person. The court order comes to the office, and when it comes to the office, the cases are assigned to the defense lawyers who go to court to represent them. At the moment, we have received court orders from Supreme Court, Court of Appeal, High Courts, and Children Courts. For the cases of the Children Court cases, our mandate is to represent all the children, irrespective of the case they have, the offense they have committed. So in cases of children, it cuts across every offense. So for the provision of legal aid for the children, we have represented children in a children's court has been set up in Brikama, so we are representing them there. There's a children's court set up in Basse, for instance, now. So we are representing children in Basse Children's Court. For provision of legal aid all around the country, I can say that the agency have covered the whole country. I say this because in the combos here, the High Court, the Supreme Court, the Court of Appeal is located here. When you come to Basse, a High Court is set up in Basse, but this Basse High Court covers all the cases coming from that area: Janjambure, Basse, Numil, and all those places. So people who are charged with offenses involving life imprisonment and death sentence come to this court, and once they indicate that they cannot afford a lawyer, legal aid steps in. So when we say that we have covered the whole country, we mean it. But for the Secretariat, we have an office in Basse for the legal aid clinic. Then for the legal, as far as legal aid clinic is concerned, like the administrator has spoken, you come, you fill a form, then we determine your merit test. There is a merit test, then if you qualify, we'll give you an advice. So that's how far we've gone as regards the provision.
Do you have any plans to extend these services to other parts of the country, as they might also need these services?
Yes, we have plans, because the plans is this: we have set up an office in Basse, and we're planning to set up in Brekama and other areas. So we have plans of covering the whole area.
What is the volume of cases like in some of these areas that you operate in?
Yes, since the inception of the agency, we've handled about 175 cases so far. So that's the volume of the cases that we've handled at the moment. I believe that in the long run, in future, we'll handle more cases.
Okay, we'll come back to you.
If I may add, some of these cases are murder cases and rape, murder, rape, some cases of arson and armed robbery. These are the main areas that we have done cases in altogether. And as you said, 175 last year. We did 75, and this 2012 65 in all. And then the children's court 34 so far since we started altogether. 175 cases we have covered, and we want to do more if we open more offices. We want to do more if we have logistical support. We're having problems with logistics, vehicles to move around and so on. But hopefully, and we pray that there will be assistance coming in that area, and we can do more. And then also there have been personnel inadequacy. 3 lawyers cannot, the appointed ones, they quite different from the ones in the register, but 3 lawyers cannot cover the whole place. So we need more people, more lawyers to come in, so that we can, our coverage would be better.
We'll now turn to Ms. Pendo Jibro from the ADR Secretariat, who's going to tell us what ADR means. Ms. Jibro?
Thank you very much, Mama. ADR, it means Alternative Dispute Resolution. And this is facilitated by the ADRS, which is the Alternative Dispute Resolution Secretariat, which is a mouthful, so we just say ADR and ADRS. And I just want to briefly state that in 2005, the ADR Act was promulgated, and from that we established the ADR Secretariat in 2008. And since our establishment, we have an office in Banjul, the main office, and also pilot, well, not pilot anymore, but we have now 2 other offices in Basse and Farafenni that cover the North Bank and the Upper River region.
Now, who are those who can utilize the services of the ADR?
ADR is available to anyone that has a civil dispute. That could be employment and land issues, commercial issues, contract issues, and things like that. The only thing we do not cover in the civil aspect is wills and probate, and we do not cover any criminal issues. So if we receive a case and we find out there's a criminal issue, we will refer them either to the police or to someone who can advise them better. The general idea of ADR and the advantages in general of ADR are that they are generally more cost effective, speedier, it's confidential, the sessions are closed door sessions. The only people that attend mediation are the parties, the mediator, or the arbitrator if it's an arbitration.